Hello, everyone. Hello, Unlocked community. Welcome to our regular Tuesday live stream. Today we are doing an Ask Me Anything. So this is super open-ended. You guys can ask any questions about real estate, financing, rentals, money, my pets, whatever you want to ask about. And I'm going to answer it for you. So we also have Lizzie here with us today, my co-host. And after this, at 3:00, we are going to have a workshop where I am going to break down exactly the method that I've used to go from pretty much 0 to 70 doors in the last couple years. And I'm going to show you exactly how we do it and what it would look like to work with us. So if you guys want to join that workshop, it is today at 3:00. And just let us know in the comments, and Lizzie will send you over the link to register. So cool. Oh, there we go. She got it in the comments. You guys, this is super, super interactive. If you have any questions about real estate, go ahead and throw them in the comments. And then we do have some kind of common questions that we get all the time that are I'll go ahead and answer. But as soon as I see some of y'all's questions, we will go ahead and get those done.
We do have a couple from Instagram already.
Oh, cool. Yeah, let's hear them.
LA Guy 8 says, how long do I have to wait after I purchase a property to pull out the equity if value has gone up?
Great question. So that is the beauty of the BRRRR method, is that you really don't have to wait very long at all, more than a couple months. And so that period of time is called the seasoning period. You may ask your refi lender, hey, how long is your seasoning? And is it from the time of purchase, or is it from the time that it gets rented? So those lenders kind of do them two different ways. And so just make sure you clarify that. And then it's typically like the lenders we use are like 3 months from purchase. And so by the time you get it renovated, rented, and through the refi process, it's been 3 months anyways. So we don't really get too hung up on like seasoning requirements. You may work with the lender that's 6 months, and if it's a bigger rehab, it may take you that long anyways. And so just check with your refi lender how long the seasoning period is and what date it starts.
Nice. And then Dom Valenti, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, said, how did you first get started in wholesaling, and do you have any advice for beginners?
Yeah, so wholesaling, I started because I was raising capital. I needed to earn some money to start buying all these rental properties, right? And so I actually took a course. This was long enough ago that the course was not online. It came in a binder.
Wow.
Yeah. Came in a binder with like CDs. And I paid $1,000 for this like wholesaling binder, and I followed it to a T. Honestly, that is how I got started. I didn't want to reinvent the wheel. I didn't want to make a bunch of mistakes. So I paid someone else to teach me. It took me 6 months to make any money. And then the first deal that I got was like, I think I made $5,000 wholesale fee, and it was like all the money in the world. And it was like really, more than just the money. It was like the validation, like, hey, I can do this. I understand it now. I've been through a whole process. I was not doing it on the side. I kind of went a little crazy, quit my W-2 without having any income lined up. And so I was pretty much trying to wholesale pretty much full time for 6 months before I made something happen. But then, of course, we built a business around it, and it was very successful.
Nice.
So that's how I got started. It was wild.
Nice. That's all the Instagram ones for now.
Okay, cool. Y'all let us know. I see quite a few people on here, and I know you have questions for me. So you wouldn't be here if you didn't. Let's look at some common ones that we get. So a real frequent one is, do you need a tenant in the home to refinance? And that depends on what lender you are using. So the lender that we have found for refis, I refi with DSCR loans. And it is required that the property is rented because it's debt service coverage ratio. The intention of the loan is that the property is bringing in income. And so you need to be able to show that income by having occupied property, having a lease signed, and having someone move in before you can qualify for that loan type. So yes. Yeah.
Nice.
What other questions you guys got? Oh, here we go. Do I refi with a conventional loan for your first deal until you've maxed out? So actually, Mallory, I did use a lot of conventional loans early in my journey, and I still have quite a few of those. So I did max out. You can do 10 in your name, 10 in your spouse's name. The loan type that I really prefer now is the DSCR. They're much faster to close. They require a whole lot less paperwork. No one's really checking, they look at your tax returns, they look at your bank statements, but no one's asking what was this spending and what was this, like they would when you're buying a personal house or conventional. So they're just faster, easier, and the terms are slightly worse, but for an investment, like the speed is worth far more than like half a point on the loan amount, So you can use conventional for sure. I prefer DSCR. And then Miss Elise asked, what's the hardest part about my current journey? Oh my goodness. Trying, I would say we're moving from buy everything I can get my hands on mode to really stabilizing. And I mean, everything's stabilized, but like really making our current portfolio the most profitable it can be. That takes a lot of time. We're looking at per property basis, how they're performing, if we need to sell something. So that's where we are right now. And it's challenging to kind of shift gears a little bit, even if it's just for like a temporary part of time. So that's kind of been our challenge on the rental side. I have an amazing team. I haven't really had trouble with, finding people to show up, finding people to do the work, all that. Our lenders are great. Like, honestly, it's really pretty smooth. It's just I'm trying to shift gears a little bit. Melissa asked, how are we making sure the tenant is changing the furnace filter, and do we provide them? So we do not provide them. We do ask for a photo of it changed. Could I be better at checking that on a monthly basis? Yes. Some people send them, but we also do 6-month proactive inspections. So at the very longest that it wouldn't be changed would be 6 months. A lot of homeowner or property owners actually do go in on a monthly or quarterly basis for inspections, and they are proactively changing filters. We do that every 6 months, but we ask that the tenant changes them on a monthly basis. Just give me a shout if any come in from Instagram.
I will.
Cool. Then we have Miss Kelly ask, how do you keep enough money to cover repairs and vacancies? Great question. So in our BRRRR calculator, we actually have it separated out to show 5% of your gross for vacancies, 5% of our gross for maintenance. We do not pull out for CapEx because we're doing the BRRRR method. So the idea is that all of our major mechanicals are renovated up front. That money, I actually have literally separate bank accounts. So we use Profit First methodology. I could probably have a whole live stream on Profit First, but it's a banking system where I have multiple bank accounts. They each have their own purpose. Money comes into our income account. Then I have accounts for vacancies, accounts for maintenance. And then on a monthly basis, we do our allocation. It's part of the methodology. And during the allocation, say we made gross $70K in a month, I will pull out, 5% into our vacancies, 5% into our maintenance accounts. And so I literally have the money like set to the side, and it comes in from the gross rent.
We do have 3 questions. LA guy is coming in hot.
Yeah, LA guy.
Okay. I use DSCR on my 4 single family home and all are rented on Section 8. Is there a way I can obtain more without using my own money?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You can raise private money from friends, family, coworkers, other investors. Private money is an incredibly powerful tool. It's relationship based. You know, some lenders, they're pretty savvy and they're going to check all the due diligence, but a lot of them, they're lending to you as an individual with the property as collateral. And so, all that said, is you can get 100% of a purchase and a rehab and closing costs, whatever you need, funded from a private lender pretty easily. You, if someone doesn't have, you know, someone wants to work with you, but they maybe don't have enough money to do the full purchase and the full rehab, you actually could use private money leveraged with hard money. So you put hard money in the first position, you're going to have about 12 to 15% down. Your private money lender would step in to fund that, and then you have none of your own money in the deal. So you can definitely buy without other people's money.
Nice.
Yep. And then when you go to refi into DSCR, whatever it is, then you would pay off hard, private, whatever combo you have, frees up their capital so they can lend to you again and again and again.
If I wanted to add one more property, is it safe to use a conventional loan?
Yeah. I mean, the limitation is 10 conventional. Don't quote me. I think that actually may have changed in the last year. That's what it was for a really long time. But you can have 10 conventional in your name, 10 in your spouse's name. I would caution having it in your own name versus in an LLC. And so if you're buying in an LLC, DSCR really is the way to go.
Okay, that was his actual next question was,
Yeah.
do you use an LLC or do you put them in your name?
Yeah. LLC wherever possible, asset protection. I have had properties that we rented out in my personal name for, some period in the past. You can pretty easily quit claim it into a LLC at through an attorney or a title company, like a couple $100. So if you have them in your personal name, you want them in an LLC, you can do that without selling the property or anything crazy. You just quit claim the deed.
So one more question came in. Horatio Barrera, again, sorry if I'm butchering the pronunciation.
Lizzie's sick, you guys. She's hanging on here.
We're here.
She's doing her best.
We're surviving. What strategy do you recommend for an investor that has a full-time job? I tend to shy away from BRRRR strategy because I don't feel that I have enough bandwidth for that type of project.
Totally. No problem. If you have 20 to 25% down, you can buy turnkey all day. You definitely can. You can go straight into a DSCR. You could buy with a conventional. My findings over the last, 6 years of heavily buying rentals is that those loan types don't give you the most leverage when making offers because you really have to buy off the MLS versus working with wholesalers. Because if you went to a wholesaler and you're like, hey, I'll buy this property, but I need 45 days to close, they're going to laugh you off the stage. And so in order to close fast, you're using hard money. You're often getting a good deal. You're buying something that is distressed. You're putting the work into it. And then you are refinancing, and your equity is your hard work. Pickles. Y'all, this is Pickles. He's being a little naughty. And so, no, he's not our foster. We're officially keeping him, if that's someone's question. He's official.
Woo!
And so the benefit of the BRRRR and a DSCR is that you basically don't have a down payment, or you have a really small down payment versus putting 10 to 25% up front. Both of them, you're winding up with a turnkey property. Both of them, there's many ways you can get there. I just like that my effort is, given back to me in equity, and I get all my money back. Did that answer the question? I think I went on a tangent.
I think I answered it.
Okay, cool. So there is some definite extra steps on BRRRR, but it depends on your capital situation. If you have enough money to buy turnkey, go for it. I wanted to scale fast, so it was a no-brainer for me to get my money back over and use the same money over and over and over. Melissa says, yay, Pickles. Yes, he is our unofficial mascot. And Lizzie, yeah, he needs a branded bandana.
Yes.
That's great. That's great. Okay, we have a couple more coming in. So Perry asked, how do you deal with the purchase of a property that has tenants and a signed lease? Okay. Yep. So this is a bit of a tricky one. And Perry, you have access to the BRRRR calculator through the 90-day challenge. So all you would need to do is underwrite an extended occupancy period. So basically, you have your purchase date, you input, you have your occupancy date. And in this scenario, it may not be 2-3 months down the road after renovation. It could be 6-8 months down the road because you need to wait for the lease to end, then give notice, then do the renovation and go through the BRRRR process. So it's totally possible to buy with an active lease in place. You just need to plan for the timeline of an extended BRRRR. Totally possible though. And in Ohio, at least, the lease is still valid even through a sale. So me as the new buyer, I would need to honor the terms of that lease. If you really, really need the property vacant, you can always offer like a cash for keys situation, or you can, try to have them in the lease early. But if they don't want to and they pay on time, they have no obligation to leave. In Ohio, I would check with your whatever state you're in. We have a couple more. Does LLC affect taxes? So you would file your taxes. Your entity has its own taxes. Rentals specifically pass through to your personal income on a Schedule E. So they would offset, and please, y'all, I am not a CPA. I just know this from filing my own taxes for the past 10 years in rentals. Your income will it will pass through to your personal income. So if you have depreciation, if you have expenses, that actually can offset your active income as your W-2 as well. It's super powerful. Okay. Oh gosh. Some long ones. You need a team to help with rehab. I'm out of state. How can you find a trustworthy company? Your network, your personal network, all of your community, or, where you are investing. Of course, that wouldn't be super helpful where you live, but building a community where you're investing. If you're thinking of coming to Central Ohio, we have some amazing Facebook groups. Everyone wants to help each other. I would say Columbus real estate is one of the most powerful and giving communities I've ever been a part of in any aspect of my life. And I can't speak for everywhere else on earth, but I know that people really genuinely do want to help each other. And so I would ask for referrals. I would get on social media. I would share my projects, share my wins, share my challenges, and really, really connect with that local community because they're going to help you find someone trustworthy. And when you ask, say, hey, I'm looking for a plumber, maybe 5 plumbers raise their own hand saying, hey, I'm a plumber. Okay. But then someone else, a third party, says, I've used plumber number 2, whatever, and I recommend them. I am always going to prioritize that third party referral over someone raising their own hand, if that makes sense, because they've had a good experience, right? Is that a guarantee you'll have a good experience? No, but it's definitely a foot in the door and a head start. All right. Okay, we got a long one from Perry. If purchasing a duplex and one side is occupied, what's the best strategy? Like, you can't even see me. What's the best strategy? I get this question a lot, actually. Personally, I would wait until both sides are renovated and rented at market rent, because that's how you're going to get your best ARV. Your highest ARV is, a pretty important part of the BRRRR method. It is getting the max value that you can out of it. That doesn't mean you have to borrow the whole 75, 80% loan to value. But if it appraises as high as it can, it gives you more options. So personally, I would wait until all units are completed. We had a 4-unit building where 2 people had like almost a year left. So we just renovated 2 of them and I refied. And then we're actually probably due. We've renovated the other 2 since. So I'm probably due for another refi on that one now that all 4 are renovated. It just, if you don't wait, it's going to create extra work for you down the road. Cool, cool, cool. Y'all, these are great questions. We said, love to invest there, but obviously, we're so landlord friendly. Columbus is fantastic. If I need to do an eviction, it's 3 weeks and $300, and I've never lost. And I'm not bragging about that. I'm not proud. But if someone doesn't pay rent, when you go up for an eviction, there's 5 questions. I can't list them all, but one is, are they behind on rent? If the answer is yes. When's the last time you checked the property was occupied? And the answer should be like within the last 24 hours. So if the answer to those are that they're still there and they didn't pay, oh my God, this is going crazy. If the answer is that they still live there and they haven't paid, it's pretty much an immediate eviction. So it's been very, very landlord friendly. Very. All right, y'all. Well, we're having some good questions come in. It looks like it has slowed down a bit. So maybe I answered everything for you guys. Here we go. What are the rules for section 8 eviction? Tenant hasn't paid in almost 2 months. I'm assuming that they have a portion that they need to pay in addition to what the program pays. I would first and foremost go to section 8, see if they can work out something with the resident. Maybe their life when they qualified for the program is different than their life today. And maybe they would qualify for the full amount to be covered. So first I would try to get the program to reevaluate, will they cover the whole rent, right? And you're saying, okay, yes, they have a $300. Next step would be to evict. So they're behind $600. I would try, honestly, I would not have an eviction over $600. I would try to figure out a way to get them to stay because, you have someone there. A vacancy costs money. Turnover costs money. So if we don't have to do a turnover, we're not going to. If nothing can be worked out, the next step would be a formal eviction. 3-day notice. Definitely post the 3-day notice. Because you can't do anything without that. But even if you post it, you don't have to pursue something. Oh, they're moving out, but taking their time. Dahlia, I'm sorry to say that $600 is probably gone. I would post the 3-day notice, start the eviction if necessary, and they'll be gone. But I don't imagine you would collect that $600. The joys of property ownership. Any Instagrams?
Nope.
Alrighty. Well, cool, y'all. If you want to join our workshop where I kind of break down exactly what I have done to build our portfolio, how the method works, all this, would love to have you there. Lizzie posted the link, so just go ahead and get registered. You have a little time to, go get a coffee or tea, whatever you need this afternoon, and we will see you shortly. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.